Good morning, students. Well, in the last class, we have started the chapter that is nutrition in animals. I think we have studied till tongue and esophagus. All right, alimentary canal that was told in the beginning. Then, what are the process? Which are the processes that are going to be a part of digestion? Absorption, assimilation, ingestion, digestion. Right. So now we will be continuing from where we had stopped in the last class. That is, esophagus is over. So now we'll be moving to stomach. So what's the role of this stomach in this process of digestion? First thing, this stomach is a U-shaped organ. This stomach is a U-shaped organ where hydrochloric acid is present in the stomach, and then digestive juices are there. Apart from these digestive juices, we have hydrochloric acid, and last we have mucus. Whatever the food is eaten from the mouth, it is going to move to the esophagus, that is food pipe. From that food pipe, due to its continuous contraction and relaxation, the food is pushed downwards and then it comes to stomach. So this is what we had learned till today, till yesterday in the last class. So now, what is going to happen to that food which has reached stomach? That we will be studying. So before that, we should understand what is stomach. Stomach is a U-shaped organ. It is a U-shaped organ in the upper part of the abdomen. For example, this part we are going to call it as abdomen. On the upper part of the abdomen, what's there? We have this stomach. And in stomach, we will be having hydrochloric acid, and there are digestive juices, and also we have mucus. Then what's the role of these three in this stomach? What hydrochloric acid is doing in the stomach? What these digestive juices are doing in the stomach? Or what this mucus is doing in the stomach? So what is the role of these three? This hydrochloric acid, what it is doing is, whatever the food is coming to the stomach, and still there will be some bacteria present in that food. So those bacteria are going to be killed by this hydrochloric acid. So this hydrochloric acid is going to kill bacteria. It kills bacteria which are present in the food. Hydrochloric acid is so strong that it can even melt the razor, the blade which is used for shaving. It gets melted in that hydrochloric acid. That much strong the acid is. Then why don't our stomach burn if that much strong the acid is? It is because of this mucus. What this mucus is doing is, it is protecting. It is protecting the inner wall of stomach. So inside the stomach, whatever the inner wall is there on that stomach, that is going to be protected because of this mucus. Because this mucus is seeing that this hydrochloric acid should not harm the stomach. That is the role of this mucus. And then what this digestive juices are doing? It is breaking proteins. Whatever the proteins are present in the food is going to be broken into simpler forms. Whatever the proteins are present in the food will be broken into simpler forms by the digestive juices which are secreted in the stomach. Understood? First thing, stomach is a U-shaped muscle organ which is situated in the upper part of the abdomen. And in this stomach, we will be having digestive juices, hydrochloric acid, and mucus. Then, what are the roles of these three by being inside the stomach? This digestive juices, which are secreted in the stomach, is going to break down proteins into simpler forms. So, whatever the proteins are there in the food, that will be broken down into still further small parts into still simpler forms by the digestive juices. Then we have hydrochloric acid. Whatever the food is taken in, it is going to reach stomach. So once it reaches stomach, still there will be some bacteria in that stomach. So whatever the bacteria are present in that food which has reached the stomach, those bacteria will be killed by this hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is written in short HCl. Alright, this acid is too much concentrated, means it is too much strong. Even the blade which is used for shaving, that blade is going to melt once it is dipped in the hydrochloric acid. That much strong the acid is. If that much strong the acid is, then why it is not causing harm to our stomach? When it is inside the stomach, why it is not causing harm to our stomach? It is because of this mucus. Because this mucus is protecting the inner walls of the stomach by the acid. Whatever the acid is present in the stomach, that acid should not harm the inner wall of the stomach. That is seen by this mucus. So this is our stomach. I think it's clear to everyone. So once the food is moved from mouth to esophagus, food pipe, then it has reached the stomach. Right? Till now we have seen still stomach. After stomach, where it is going? That is to small intestine. After stomach, the food is moved to small intestine. Remember, small intestine is of 7.5 meter long. How much? 7.5 meter long. Means it is having length of around 7.5 meter. Approximately will be around 1.5 meter or 1.7 meter. So more than us. In case the person who is 1.7 meter, or assume a person is 1 meter, will be around 1 meter, right? That is 100 centimeter. At the age of your, that is for class 7, will be around 13 years maximum. So assume you will be around, there is a short boy in the class, say who is only 100 centimeter, that is 1 meter. So almost 7 times this person, that small intestine is there. Is this clear? In case there is a person who is 1.5 meter, so almost 5 times his height. So 5 times the height of the person is the length of small intestine. But still, it is situated only in this portion, in the small portion, whereas it is 7.5 meter long, but that 7.5 meter long is settled in the small portion of our body. You might have seen now. So whatever you find here, that is the small intestine. So it's around 7.5 meter in length. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? So in stomach, the food is digested partially. Partially means not complete. Only some portion of the food is digested in stomach. So after that, for that we are going to call it as partially digested. So whatever that partially digested food is there, it is moving to this small intestine. That is to this small intestine, which is of 7.5 meter in length. It is a small intestine, and you might be seeing in the diagram. It is coiled. What do you call? We call it as coiled. So this small intestine is highly coiled, and it's a long tube. That is why we call it as small intestine. Alright. In the inner walls of the intestine, there will be some juices which helps in further digestion of the food. We call them as intestinal juices. So you find these intestinal juices on the inner walls of that small intestine. So what these intestinal juices are doing? It is completing the digestion. These juices are looking after in the digestion of food. We have liver, we have pancreas, liver is going to secrete juices. It is bile juice. Liver secretes bile juice in its gallbladder. Liver is going to secrete bile juice from its gallbladder, and whereas this pancreas, it is also secreting juice, and we call it as pancreatic juice. What is that? Pancreatic juice. So whatever this bile juice as well as pancreatic juice is there, this is also coming in small intestine only. So in small intestine, we will be having the inner walls of that intestine is going to have intestinal juices, and it is also going to get bile juice from liver as well as pancreatic juice from pancreas. Then what are the roles of this pancreatic juice, bile juice or intestinal juice? So bile juice helps in breaking down. So this bile juice is going to help in breaking down fats. So whatever fats are present in the body, that whatever fats are present that has moved to small intestine, it will be broken down by bile juice, and this bile juice is from liver. Liver is secreting bile juice, and this bile juice, what it is doing? It is breaking down fats into simple forms. Then we have pancreas, and as said, it is going to get pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juice is going to break down carbohydrates, proteins into its simple forms. So we have bile juice which is secreted by liver, which is going to break down fats, and we have a pancreas which is going to secrete pancreatic juices, and this pancreatic juice, what it is doing? It is breaking down carbohydrates, proteins as well as fats into simpler forms. Understood? Liver is secreting bile juice, whereas pancreas is secreting pancreatic juice. Bile is going to break fats, whereas this pancreatic juice is going to break down carbohydrates, fats and proteins into its simpler forms, and thus it helps in completion of digestion. So remember, the major part of digestion, is done in small intestine. Alright? Only whatever the bacteria were there in the food was killed by the hydrochloric acid in stomach. Mucus, it is mucus. What it did? It is actually what it is doing. It is protecting protecting the inner walls of the stomach, so that hydrochloric acid should not harm the stomach. So from there the food moves to small intestine. In small intestine, the major part of digestion is done with the help of intestinal juices, bile juice, as well as pancreatic juice. So thus here the digestion process is completed. So after small intestine, if the digestion is completed, then whatever is digested has to be transported to all parts of the body. So there we have another process called absorption. Here in absorption, whatever the nutrients were there, that all has to be transported to each and every part of the body. So for that we have finger-like structures called villi. Finger-like structures, we call them as villi. What this villi is doing is, it is absorbing. It is absorbing the digested part. Whatever the digested food was there, whatever the nutrients were there in the digestion, that digested nutrients is absorbed by this villi. Villi are finger-like structures, or we call them as finger-like projections. That villi, what it is doing, it is absorbing whatever the digested food was having nutrients, means whatever the nutrients were there in the small intestine, that all is going to be absorbed by this villi. Once it absorbs this nutrients, and remember they will be soluble form, they will be soluble in form, means soluble, water soluble. It has to dissolve in the liquids, for that we call it as soluble. So whatever the soluble nutrients were there, that soluble nutrient is absorbed by this villi, and it is sent to all parts of the body. These villi are actually having blood vessels. Actually, these villi, which are in finger-like structure or finger-like projections, those villi are having blood vessels, and that is having a network of blood vessels in the body. So through that blood vessels, the digested food is absorbed and transported to all parts of the body. The major part of digestion is going to take place in small intestine. Fine. If digestion is completed, then whatever digested nutrients were there, that has to be utilized by the body. So this villi, what it is doing, it is sending that digested nutrients to all parts of the body with the help of its blood vessels. Is this clear? Absorption. Fine. So next we'll be moving to assimilation. So next is assimilation. Actually, in assimilation, it is the next process of absorption. Like how stomach was having food in it, that food from stomach was moved to small intestine. Then in small intestine, digestion took place, and from there it moved to all parts. That is absorption. Because of absorption, the digested food has reached all parts of the body through blood vessels. Because they are soluble, that is why whatever was soluble, that is absorbed by those blood vessels and it is transported to all parts of the body. That was absorption. So now in assimilation, okay, of course, whatever the digested was there, that has been transported to all parts of the body. What next? So that next is whatever that absorbed nutrients were there, whatever the absorbed nutrients was there, it has to be utilized. It has to be utilized by the body. So whatever the digested part was there, that has been absorbed by villi and sent to all parts of the body. So whatever that digested nutrients are being sent to all parts of the body, that has to be used. So whatever is transported, that has to be used by the body. That is assimilation. Why it has to use? So that it helps in building proteins. This is clear. So here it is utilized by the body to build proteins, because proteins are the one which are known as body building cells. So that is what is called as assimilation. So whatever the soluble food is absorbed by blood, actually blood vessels transported it. How it transported? It absorbed and transported. So whatever the soluble food is absorbed by blood, it has to be used by the body, it has to be utilized by the body, so that it helps in building proteins. Why it is helping in building proteins is because proteins are known as building blocks of cell. So they are building new cells. That is why this assimilation, whatever the absorption is done, after absorption, that absorbed nutrients has to be broken, it has to be utilized by the body, so that it helps in giving out proteins. Because those proteins, what they are doing, they are helping in building the new cells in the body. Is this clear? For this we call it as assimilation. Then in each cell, whatever this soluble form is there, it is broken down to give out energy. It is broken to give out energy, carbon dioxide, and then water. So that is broken down with the help of oxygen. So with the help of oxygen, whatever this soluble form is there, that is broken down to give out energy. Then it also gives carbon dioxide and water. So this is about assimilation. Assimilation ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫುಡ್ ಏನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತದೆ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್, that has to be utilized by the body, so that it gives out proteins. And that proteins, what it is doing, in each and every cell, that protein is reacting with oxygen, means it is broken down with the help of oxygen, so that it gives out carbon dioxide, water, and energy for the body is also released there. This is about assimilation. Then next, it is about large intestine. Large intestine. What is the role of this large intestine in our nutrition? Actually, it is around 1.5 meter in length. You might be wondering, so small intestine was having 7.5 meter of length, whereas this large intestine is having only 1.5 meter in length. Then how this can be called as large intestine and that as small intestine? You must remember, large intestine is is like this. Of course, from here to here it is only about 1.5 meter. For that, we don't call it as long. This is called as long because the radius of this large intestine is bigger compared to small intestine. That is why this is called as large intestine, even though it is only 1.5 meter in length. Then what's happening here? Whatever the undigested part in the small intestine is there, the undigested part, undigested food, what it is doing? It is moving through this large intestine and then it is ejected out through anus. This is what happens actually in the large intestine. So small intestine ಒಳಗ ಏನು ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದು ಅಸಿಮಿಲೇಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಬರಬರಿ. ಬಟ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲಾರದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ ಅನ್ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆ ಅನ್ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಅದು ಈ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದ, ಈ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದ, ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್, salt and water is absorbed by the large intestine. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎನಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅದನ್ನ ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we call it as feces, right? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ನಾವು ಅನ್ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ದಿಂದ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತದೆ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್. ಸೊ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ದಾಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅನ್ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಅನ್ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ನ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನು ಉಳಿತದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಮಿ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಉಳಿತದ. ಆ ಸೆಮಿ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we call it as feces. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. Then after that, this is semi solid or feces is stored in the rectum and then it is ejected out with the help of anus. This is about egestion. In rectum ಒಳಗೆ feces store ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ rectum ಒಳಗೆ feces ಏನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಆನಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಬಾಡಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ ಈಜೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಕೆನಾಲ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಕೆನಾಲ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಈ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಕೆನಾಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನೇನು ರೋಲ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಮೌತ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ಓಸೋಫೇಗಸ್, ಸ್ಟಮಕ್, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್, ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಕೆನಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And that's all for today's class. I think we have learned today about stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and also digestion. So we'll be continuing in the next class. But for today's homework, you have to describe the role of following. ಸೊ ಈ ಸರ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ರೋಲ್ ಏನದ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ದ ರೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ large intestine. So what's happening in stomach, what's happening in small intestine, and also what's happening in large intestine. This all has to be read in a textbook and you have to write it on your own. So that is the homework for today. So try to have a habit of reading textbook and answer in your own words. So that's all for today. So till then, read whatever is there in the next portion, what is there in the continued part of the whatever you have studied till digestion, right? So from there, what is there, read it and be prepared for the next class. So till then, take care of your health, stay home, stay safe, see you in the next class. Thank you.